Hey, Tom, what are you doing? It's time for the Church of Football.
Why? Ended football.
No, professional football.
Oh. All right, let's go.
Good morning and welcome to the Church of Football for Week 7. We're going to switch things up in the service a little bit this week, kind of give things a little new flavor. We hope you like what you see. We do begin the week by welcoming you all in the name of Campbell, Okoye, and Zonka.
Rain coming!
Look out! Look out!
Oh!
Told you twice! And so before we begin the first reading of the week, we must of course do our traditional toast.
We interrupt Cardinal John for an important news break. Matt Moore has once again been named the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. The city of Charlotte weeps. In other news, Kevin Kolb is Andy Reid's starter in Philadelphia this week. Mike Vick had this to say: "You know, that's okay. I'm not quite ready to come back yet. Besides, Kevin Kolb is my dog. You know." Kevin Kolb, beware. And finally, Major League Baseball playoffs are in full swing. Nobody knows what teams are still around, and no one really cares. Stay tuned for more information from the Church of Football Network.
And so we come to the first reading of the week, which are the picks of the week, this week by me. You want to do well in your picks this week, you follow our advice. Here's the first game. This one's going to be a good one for you. Washington plus 2.5 at Chicago. Why take the Redskins on the road against the Bears? Because Chicago sucks! That's why. Yeah, they're 4-2, but they don't deserve to be. Baltimore minus 12.5 at home versus Buffalo. Take Baltimore, give up the 12.5 points. Why? Because Buffalo sucks! Atlanta minus 3.5 at home versus Cincinnati. Take Atlanta. Why? Well, the Bengals are alright, but Atlanta's a better team. Oh, hell with it. The Bengals suck! Next, New England plus 2.5 at San Diego. Yes, I do understand that San Diego wins at home and loses on the road, but this is New England, and New England was good enough to knock off Baltimore. I think they can handle the Chargers. Take New England and take the extra 2.5 points. They're giving you points to bet on the Patriots, for crying out loud. Last, my lock of the week. The New York Giants go to Dallas. Dallas is favored by 3.5 points, and I'm going to surprise you all a little bit here and tell you to not take the Cowboys, take the Giants, take the 3.5 points. You'll be happy that you did. This is my guaranteed lock pick of the week. And what happens if I get this one wrong? Oh, well. Probably my least favorite person in the entire world is Glenn Beck.
I thought he was going to say you.
So, if I miss this pick, I will watch an entire episode of Glenn Beck's show on Fox, Fair and Balanced, and I won't comment at all about his rampant stupidity. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that this is a pretty bold statement by old Cardinal John. But I'm willing to take that risk. Why? Because I know the Giants are going to cover, and it's going to become a moot point anyway. What are we, 3 in a row now here for getting locks of the week? Let's make it 4 in a row. And that, my friends, is the first reading of the week, brought to you by
The Holy Book at Caesars!
And now for a quick news break from the Church of Football Network.
This is CFN.
Thank you, Cardinal John. In the news this hour, James Harrison of the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this week threatened to quit playing in the NFL due to some recent rule changes. Says Harrison, "If I can't concuss defenseless players, what's the point?" Indianapolis Colts punter Pat McAfee was arrested earlier this week for public intoxication when found swimming in a city canal in the early morning hours. When police interviewed Mr. McAfee and asked him how much he'd had to drink, he says, "A lot, because I'm drunk." This is actually a true story and just shows the depths that a punter must go to in order to make the news. Last up, Matthew Stafford, starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions, has been practicing and is cleared to start the game for Week 8. His offensive line is looking forward to not blocking for him once again. Starting guard Rob Sims says, "I think we can get his leg broken this time." That's it for the news. Back to Cardinal John.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Rant of the Week. This week presented by Reverend Lloyd. Lloydo?
Thank you, Cardinal John. The rant this week has something to do with this yellow flag. This yellow flag that the NFL has handed to the officials out there to enforce their little rules. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm throwing the yellow flag at them. That's right, I'm tossing the yellow flag and calling foul. Why, you ask? Because they have the gall to fine several players this past week $50,000 for hits that they determined to be aggressive, abusive, whatever it may be. Now, the hit that Dunta Robinson put on Deshaun Jackson Sunday was a legal hit, but yet they still fined him $50,000. Why? Why did they do that? It was within the guidelines, it was legal. And let's evaluate how that happened. Deshaun Jackson was running a crossing pattern against a zone defense. In a zone defense, the receiver is not supposed to be running full speed. They're supposed to find the break in the zone and sit down to get the ball, to give a target to the quarterback. What does he do? He runs across the defense, full speed, Colt delivers the ball, and pow! Robinson lays him out and himself out. It was a violent hit. But it was legal. He hit him in the chest. The corresponding hit was so hard that Deshaun Jackson's head went back and forward, and they both hit the ground and were out. Now, do I want to see anybody actually get hurt in this game? No, obviously not. But to fine someone for a legal hit, to me, is just, it's not realistic. And for the NFL to really believe that a defender can stop within a split second of time to recognize when someone is defenseless and pull up on that hit, I think is really unreasonable to expect of them. What could the NFL do to help prevent some of these things besides, more safety rules or softening up the tackling? How about a novel idea? In the 100 years or so since the NFL has been in existence, the players have become smarter, stronger, faster, more athletic. They've made a number of rule changes to accommodate some of that. However, there's one thing that they could do, which I think is kind of a novel idea, is how about widening the field? If there's more width in the NFL football field out there, that means there's more space for the offensive players to run, which means more space for the defense that has to cover them. I think that would help go a long ways to making the game a little bit safer and avoiding some of these big hits. And the most important thing that I can tell you about this is...
We interrupt Reverend Lloyd with news from the top of the hour. Up first, the San Diego Chargers have signed free agent Chris Brown to help out while Nate Kading is recovering from a groin injury. In an interview, Coach Norv Turner said, "We actually look forward to making some field goals this week." In other news, the Kansas City Chiefs, despite losing the last 2 games in a row, are still in first place of the AFC West. Boy, that division sucks. And last, cameras were on hand during a Minnesota training camp this week and caught an errant football hitting quarterback Brett Favre square in the nuts. Roll it again. That's great. Oh, man! In the moneymaker! Oh. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more news from the Church of Football Network.
So keep that in mind. Don't forget it. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you again here next week at the Church of Football.
Hey! Illegal hits are what you get when you dismiss the Church of Football too soon. Come here. Get out. Anyway, so we thank you all for coming this week. We tell you to, of course, go out, root on your teams, cheer up for their victories, agonize over those defeats, but come back again next week in either case. We'll see you then. Don't you ever do that again.
Man, we should fine Cardinal John $50,000 for that hit.
He doesn't have that kind of money.
Man, I'm gonna get him back.
Let's let the viewers decide. You decide how Cardinal John should be punished. Vote now.